Hello everyone, I wish you all a very warm welcome to this channel. My name is Zami Pilshiri and we are in my HomeyUniverse. Today I will be sharing with you how I made this donut recipe. I call it no fail donut recipe because upon several trials and errors, I came up with this recipe that worked for me. And I would like to share the recipe with you so you won't have to fail several times in order to succeed your recipe. Even though there's a saying, you learn from your mistakes, but I do believe you don't always have to make errors in order for you to learn or in order for you to succeed. For this recipe, I will need 2 kilograms of flour, all-purpose flour, 3 cups of sugar, 4 sticks of butter, which is equivalent to 454 grams, 1.5 cup of milk, 14 eggs, 2 cans of evaporated milk, 1.5 tablespoons of nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of lemon rind, half teaspoon of salt, and 8 teaspoons of baking powder. I'll be putting the measurements in the description box. 2 kilograms of flour normally calls for 16 eggs, but I put 14 because I noticed when I put more eggs, they do not foam in the oil, and which tends to soak in oil. Normally for half kilogram, I'll put 4 large eggs. For 1 kilogram, instead of 8 eggs, I'll reduce it to 6. For 1.5 kilograms, instead of 12, I'll put 10. Same as for the 2 kilograms, I put 14, but I usually put 13, but my eggs were not that large, so I decided to put 14. Everything should be at room temperature. I'm going to start by mixing all of the dry ingredients together except sugar. In a bowl, I'm going to put all the 4 sticks of butter. Then add the sugar and cream both together. I'll be making use of my stand mixer, but you can use a hand mixer or a spatula, any one you have. The butter and the sugar has been creaming for some time. I'm going to scrape it and continue creaming. This is to ensure a homogeneous mixture. Do not forget to scrape the bottom of your pan. Once my mixture is fluffy, I'm going to scrape it and then add one part of the eggs and mix it. Once the eggs are well combined, I'm going to add the rest of the eggs in the mixture and mix it very well. Do not forget to scrape your pan each time you want to add an ingredient. Also, do not overbeat your eggs because when you overbeat the eggs, once you put the dough in the flour, your oil is going to foam and the oil might overflow, and your donut will end up soaking a lot of oil. Here I added the vanilla extract. Here I added 1 part of the flour. Let me see, I put about 3/4 of the flour and mix. At the same time I was mixing the flour, I added 1 can of the evaporated milk. As I said earlier, do not forget to scrape the pan, because at times some of the ingredients they stick at the bottom, so you need to scrape the pan very well. I later went in and added half of the 2nd can of the evaporated milk. Then I added the rest of the flour, then pour in the rest of the evaporated milk and part of the other liquid milk. After mixing for some time, I added the rest of the liquid milk and mix and continue mixing. Make sure not to overheat your batter, or else you end up with a hard donut. Like both outside and inside of the donut will be hard. I am done mixing my batter, and this is the consistency we are going for. It is not hard nor runny. I went on and put in some oil into my frying pot, which is already on the fire heating. I pour in about 2.5 liters of oil. Yeah, I checking my oil. You know the oil is ready for frying when you put in a stick and air bubbles are being formed around the stick. I'll be making use of an ice cream scooper to scoop the batter into the oil. You can use your hands or a spoon to do that, but I find this method easier for me. We will then go ahead and start frying our donuts. Make sure to fry the donuts at medium heat, because if the flame is low, the donuts are going to soak in oil, and if it is too high, the donuts are going to burn while they are not ready inside. As you can see, some of the donuts are getting brown before others. This is because all of them do not get into the pot at the same time. Also, make sure not to overcrowd your pot. At this point, I'll start taking out the donuts, which are already golden brown, and put them in a strainer lined with paper napkin to absorb some of the oil. This is my first round of frying. I will keep on till I fry everything. This is how my oil looks like when I was frying the last round of the donut, but at least I do not have to change oil like I used to do. At first, I will fry half of my batter, then change oil to fry the rest because the oil was very foamy. This is the oil I was left with after I was done frying. As you can all see, I did not use that much oil. This is the quantity of donuts I obtained from 2 kilograms of flour. And also, I used to think to obtain the perfect donut, you had to put many eggs. But nope, I was wrong. So here are some tips to help you obtain the perfect donuts. Cream your butter and sugar together till it becomes fluffy. You know it's fluffy when the color changes from pale yellow to cream white. Tip number 2, do not overbeat your eggs, because if you do so, your oil will be foamy once you start frying, and your donut will end up soaking oil. Tip number 3, use enough baking powder or else the middle of your donut will be very dense. I said enough, not too much. Last but not the least, once you put in your flour in the mixture, do not over mix it, or else you will end up with a hard donut. Like both the inside and the outside of your donut will be very hard. Here comes the end of our video. Thanks very much for watching. Like, comment, and please do not forget to subscribe and share this video with your loved ones to help them with the recipe, even with your enemies. Till then, stay blessed.